Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Listen, okay, so I've been thinking about this for a while, actually. I've been looking at this little stuff and I see like a lot of little AI stuff, and I'm like, it seems like this AI stuff is starting to get a bit out of hand. It really does. Because I always would say when I'm reporting stuff, I've never feel the need to be the first one to actually jump out there and be the first one to do the story. That's just not my brand of what I actually do. I'll get to it when I get to it. And generally, that keeps me from having to come back and retract things that I've said because you only got a portion of the information. So I don't have to keep going back and retracting what I said when I get a full understanding before I come. But now, here's the thing with this AI stuff, it seems like you got to research the situation, and then you got to go research the research on top of it. And it's like, by the time you get through with all that, you be like, do I even want to talk about it anymore? It's ridiculous. And now, what brought me to this morning, I was already out earlier. I had some things that I had to do. But I'm sitting there, and we got the whole thing going on with Jimmy Kimmel and Disney and ABC and all of that. They basically are trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel for what he had to say about the happenings. Okay, so I saw one little thing. Now that was believable. That some folks who were siding with Jimmy Kimmel have came forth and they said, you know what, y'all want to cancel him? We're gonna cancel you. See, now that's the power of the people. That's the power of the people. See, when the people don't want to play the cancellation game, they can cancel you as a company. So that just is kind of what it is, okay? So looks like the people were doing what the people do, okay? So they said there was a lot of subscriptions that had actually gotten canceled, and I seen in that little thing that they said that Jimmy Kimmel had gone into talks, and they're kind of like talking about the suspension and all of that. Just it got the conversation going. Now that I could believe. That I could believe because that's all dollars and cents. That's all dollars and cents. Um, I ain't even going there with whether I disagree or I agree or any of that. It's too touchy. It's too much. It ain't that important to me to be risking my platforms messing with it at this point. At some point, I'll talk about it a bit, but I ain't going there. I ain't going there. So that's that, because the whole freedom of speech thing, it's an issue right now. Is it free? Is it not free? Can you say what you want? Can you not say what you want? Y'all already know what it gives. So I said I understand that. That whole money thing, I could see that. I could see the people gathering and canceling their subscriptions to Disney Plus. Because really, how many of us are really happy with all the subscriptions we have on top of cable bills? We not. We not. I'm a person that does reviews of shows, so it requires me to do it. But all in all, it's really ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. There's a lot, and a lot of that stuff I don't watch when a show comes on. I get it because my folks want me to watch it. They want me to review it. I do it, and then I probably won't even turn that channel back on again for another 7 months, 8 months until that comes back on the air again. And do you keep on turning it off and turning it on? I don't do all that. I mean, I forgot that mess. So, no, we don't be all, ain't nobody real happy about that. I pay more money out for cable, Wi-Fi, and streaming services than I pay for that car sitting over there per month. And that's just the truth. It gets out of hand. So I could believe that the people came together and said, we will make you pay attention to us. I could see that happening. Now, here's what tipped me off. I seen something talking about Patti LaBelle says something, some four word something about Jimmy Kimmel, and it's like this whole thing. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and I said, let me go to these comments. I went to the comments because when I looked at the post had that. There's some type of a weird type of I guess it's a filter But it looks strange. And I said, this is not real. This looks like fake news to me. And the more I started going through it, people were saying, well, what did she say? What did she say? I'm not seeing anything anywhere. I'm not hearing anything. And y'all, everybody knows I love Patti LaBelle. So my phone would have been buzzing about that. Nobody said nothing. I just tripped upon it and I said, here we go with some of this fake shit, is what this is. Fake. It's fake. And so, in essence, that's damaging. That's damaging. It's a bunch of AI stuff. It's a bunch of people lying. It always went on anyway. We would get emails and we would get videos that would be posted saying that somebody died, and either the person done died years ago or the person ain't dead at all. And it's starting to happen more and more. Ever since this surge of AI, it's been happening more and more. And I know I'm not the only one that is actually seeing that. I think it's getting a little out of hand. It really is. You got preachers with sermons, and they done took and hijacked the sermon, and now the sermon is saying something totally different. And then you got, and it happens a lot with the LGBTQ. You got the gay folks over here, they upset because somebody at the church says that. That person at the church didn't even say that. The church do enough on their own. But it's a lot of like trolling, and I don't know, I just think it's getting out of hand. It's a little dangerous because you really got to stop and say, well, wait, did that sound right? Does that not sound right? Is this real news? It's just getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, and it's starting to get on my nerves. And that's why I said, let me click this button to see what my folks is talking about. Because I know if I've seen it, I know some of y'all done seen it too. And I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on YouTube at this time. That's why y'all see me looking back and forth, because I'm live with all of y'all. Hey, Rory, what's going on? Hey, Tracy. Hey, cousin, what's going on? Hi, Erica. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just getting out of hand. But from what I gather, Patti LaBelle ain't said nothing about nothing that have to do with Jimmy Kimmel. And when I tell you, when I went through them comments, people was dragging Patty, talking about she trying to sell them pies. She need to shut up. Woman ain't even said nothing as far as I could find. I'm steadily looking. Here y'all dragging Patty. First of all, she 81 years old. Really? You dragging Nana? Seriously? For nothing. For nothing, actually. And see, Patty learned her lesson. They told her son got her together before. She said some things that just was kind of like, and he told her, you sing and you shut up. I think she learned her lesson. That's what made me, I said, no, I know she ain't went down this road again. I know she ain't went down this road, put her foot in her mouth again. But I ain't find nothing, nowhere that says that Patty said anything. And all in the comments, they said that those were just lies. I said, see, it's out of hand. It's out of hand. Here's another one that I ran into, and I ain't going to hold y'all long. I'm going to go. Beyonce. I seen this the other day, and I said, this is a goddamn lie. I wouldn't even go no further with it, but it said that Solange had came out and said something about Beyonce's twin boy, okay? Solange said something, and then Beyonce came, and then she basically got Solange together. That is a lie. That is a lie, because first of all, Beyonce don't even respond. Beyonce doesn't respond to anything that's negative or positive. Miss Tina may respond to some things. Like if somebody says that Miss Tina says something, I'll go look into it, because Miss Tina, she a woman of a certain age. She say what she want to say. Miss Tina will respond to some things if it get too out of hand, but Beyonce says absolutely nothing. When Beyonce does a response, y'all gonna pay for it. Y'all are going to pay for it. And first of all, she ain't never spoke out about her children, and she never will. She never will. Everybody has their own speculations about Rumi and Sir, and she's never spoken on it, and I doubt that she ever will. And as far as her and her baby sister, about her, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. B is not going to violate Jules, and Solange is not going to violate Rumi, Blue, or Sir. That's not even how they get down. You talking about a tight unit, and they're not going to say nothing about Kelly's boy. You're never going to get that from them. They're just not going to do it. I knew right away. I said, this is crazy. And you looking at the pictures. That's what I said. Those emails, not emails, but those posts. Sometimes you could look at them and you could tell that they kind of are kind of weird. And sometimes the pictures will be some pictures they snatched from somewhere else. That kind of thing. It's sickening though. It's sickening. The fake news thing, it's getting sickening, and people are feeling more emboldened to actually do it, which is really starting to get on my nerves. It's really starting to get on my nerves. But that one, I said, that's really a stretch. But yeah, people definitely, they were ready to attack the whole Patti thing and the Jimmy Kimmel thing. And I'm like, now why would we want to have a whole issue begun between Patti LaBelle and Jimmy Kimmel? Them two people, are you kidding? Just useless. And it's more so the fans of each is what it would be. It would be the catch it, clock it. Jimmy Kimmel fans versus Patti LaBelle fans. It's a bigger picture. Pay attention. Who are Jimmy Kimmel fans? He got more fans that are what? Caucasian. Patti LaBelle has more fans that are what? African American. And all in the same age group. Basically, people my age, 30 to maybe 60, 70. Jimmy Kimmel, same thing, about that 30 to 70. That's a hot button. That black-white thing is a hot button. So it's really bigger than that. These are the demonic folks that want to see some race wars and things of that nature. That's why I was getting on my nerves. Y'all know I don't like, you want to get me boiling? I don't like the race war thing. I don't like it. I don't like the black versus white versus any other melanation. I don't like that. That'll get me boiling. And I don't like the LGBTQ versus the hetero. I don't like it because I think it's just stupid. It's stupid. Some things are just going to be what they're going to be. The more things change, the more things stay the same. It is what it is. We're different. We're different. That's why we're on the planet. Everything on this planet is different. And we coexist. That's what the planet is made up of. But there's always that nasty group of people that want to, they want that. They think they want that. You don't want a race war in 2025. You don't. And you really don't want a women against gay males in 2025. You really don't want that. But people who are nasty and vicious, they want those things. And you just gotta kind of watch. You just kind of watch and you'll see how they try to filter it in. It's real slick. I see it every day. When I come in and I go ahead and I'm doing my thing, I get all kind of trolls that drop in. And that's all they want to talk about. Race, and sexuality. I don't care what I'll be in here talking about making hamburgers, and you're going to get a flood of trolls that want to bring in some race and some sexuality stuff. And it really don't even have anything to do with what's going on. It's sad. It's sad. And this is what they do. And I don't care what time, because I might come on anytime. I'm up late at night and I'm up early in the morning sometimes, so you never know when you might see me. But trolls, they never get off work. They're always early. They work all the holidays and they do all of the overtime. All of it. So anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I said what I had to say. I said what I said. I ain't taking nothing back. And before I take it back, I'll add more to it. Period. Y'all be careful. And even when you're listening to me, don't believe everything that you think you're seeing or that you think that you've heard. Do a little more research. Do a little more research. That's why I put out my emails and stuff. If you think you heard me say something that don't sound quite right, email me, because ain't nobody that could explain it better than me, and I'll explain it. Just be careful out there, y'all. And that AI, they getting better and better and better. And right along with them getting better, some of it gets more vicious and more nasty. And you really got to watch it. Really got to watch it. All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. I will talk to y'all later. Bye. Bye to YouTube.